So over the years, the North American region is known for producing some of the best talent in Fortnite history. I know a lot of EU players won't admit this, but some of them actually are some of the best in the world. Today I thought I'd go back, tell you my top 10 list, including NA West and East, of who are the best NA players of all time. But also, before we get into this, if you're trying to get a low ping in any game of your choice, go to the top link in the description, use code Rakic for 20% of your first purchase, and also use code Rakic in the item shop. I'd really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's get into it. Starting off with number 10 on this list, Rehx. So Rehx was a 5-time FNCS champion, which is absolutely absurd in itself. Majority of these wins are coming with EpikWhale being his duo, and some of them being with Arkhram, who was in his trio. He also came second a number of times with EpikWhale and Zayt as well, which was absolutely crazy. He has a total of 23 major tournament wins, which is absolutely absurd to me, and racking up around about $226,000 in earnings. Moving on to number 9 is going to be the controller demon, Deyy. Deyy, of course, very well known for being in that dominant trio of Reverse 2K and Mero, and of course playing duos with Clix got him a lot of clout as well. Signing for NRG was absolutely crazy for him, but these are his achievements. 3 FNCS wins, which is absolutely crazy. You could argue that was probably the most dominant trio at the time, maybe even of all time, maybe top 5 of all time, who knows. In his time of playing competitive, he has got 8 major tournament wins, which are really good, really crazy, and he has racked up so far at the time of this recording $266,000 in earnings. Crazy. Moving on to our number 8 on this list is going to be his partner in crime and arguably the face of Fortnite right now and for quite a lot of time. It is going to be Clix. So I know a lot of Clix fanboys are going to be like, why is he not higher? The reason he's not higher is because he hasn't actually won an FNCS, which is unfortunate for him. He is actually one of the OGs in the community, qualifying for World Cup and being around for so long, making earnings in literally every tournament possible, Twitch Rivals, FNCS, World Cup, which was absolutely crazy. He actually came 18th in World Cup solos, making around about $112,000 just from that tournament alone. However, his best placement in FNCS is unfortunately 4th, which is of course not bad by any means, but to be high on this list, I do feel like you're going to have really good placements in FNCS or have won it multiple times. He has accumulated 12 major tournament wins, and that is amounting him to $382,000 in earnings. Moving on to 7th on this list is going to be an OG, very OG in the community, been around for so long and actually didn't quit too long ago, but he is now quit, and it's going to be Saf. Saf is known majority for his team placements with Zayt. Zayt, of course, being one of the smartest players around. And that duo at the time was absolutely unmatched. They did actually pick up an FNCS win, I'm pretty sure in Chapter 2 Season 2, which was really big for them, and this was the only FNCS he actually ever won. His most notable achievement, however, is coming 4th in World Cup duos, and everybody thought he was going to win it. They thought Zayt and Sam, they were doing so well. They were first for a little bit of the time during World Cup duos, but they only came 4th, amounting to $750,000 though, which is mind-blowing. He has 14 major tournament wins, and those 14 major tournament wins has taken his total earnings to $1.2 million. Number 6 on this list is going to be one of the most OG players, literally been playing way back in Chapter 1. It is going to be Centered. Now, the only reason Centered isn't high on this list is because he hasn't won an FNCS, but he literally is the most consistent 2nd place FNCS player ever, and it's so crazy that he hasn't won an FNCS. He's currently doing with Clix, and Clix actually got banned this last FNCS. Unfortunate for him. They couldn't even compete in this last one, and I feel like they would have done quite well. Centered has racked up 18 major tournament wins, taking his earnings to $468,000 at this time of recording. If you are enjoying this so far and you want to see me make more content like this, go down in the comments and comment down below what you think. Moving into our number 5 spot is going to be arguably maybe even the best, probably 2nd on the NA West region. It's going to be Arkhram. He was signed for a very long time and unfortunately recently quit. He got a girlfriend, and I understand. I don't really understand. You're making bread, my friend. You shouldn't have quit. Anyways, he has 6 FNCS wins, and one of them actually being in solos in Season 3, in that matter of fact. He did really crazy with EpikWhale and Rehx as well in trios. It was a really crazy dynamic with them, and they were just so dominant on the West region for so long. Arkhram was actually the only player on the West region to qualify for solos and duos in World Cup. He actually came 5th in World Cup duos, making $450,000 just from that tournament alone. Arkhram has racked up 23 major tournament wins, and that is leading him to $784,000 in earnings. Crazy. Moving on to 4th on this list, and also arguably the smartest player of all time on any region, it is going to be Zayt. Zayt, of course, winning that FNCS with Saf in duos, but I mean, his achievements are unmatched. Of course, 4th in World Cup duos, like I mentioned, for Saf, and 14 tournament wins has taken his earnings to $1.33 million. Now we're approaching top 3, and I'm going to give my honorable mentions now. So I'm going to go quickly through these honorable mentions. I'm not going to give their achievements or anything like that, but the players that have not made this list is going to be Canada, Rehx, unfortunately, pains me to say this, little controller bot in myself, but yeah, and then it's going to be Snacky. 3rd on this list is going to be the best controller player of all time, and this is going to be Mero. Mero has been so dominant for so long, and even coming 2nd in the last FNCS with a random full when he was planning to quit the game. Fun fact about Mero, in FNCS trios for 3 consecutive seasons, he had the most eliminations and damage over every single region for all of those FNCSs. Crazy. He racked up 5 FNCS wins with Reverse 2K, Deyy, Bugha, and Dukes. He has only 6 very major tournament wins, and that is taking his earnings to $471,000. Going on to 2nd on this list, it is going to be the best NA West player of all time, EpikWhale. EpikWhale has amounted to 6 FNCS wins, which is absurd in itself. Like, 6 is unbelievable, and majority of those are coming with Arkhram, Rehx, and Rehx, of course, as I mentioned earlier on in the video. His most notable achievement, and I think the best out of all of them, is actually coming 3rd in World Cup solos. He also in the past year played a LAN tournament with a random duo that he's never played with before, Bugha, who of course is really good, and they actually came first in the Gamers 8 build section of the tournament. That was $250,000 he made just from that tournament alone. EpikWhale has 27 major tournament wins and racking up $1.72 million in the process. Now moving into our number 1, this was probably the easiest number 1 that you could put on a list, and it is going to be Bugha. So Bugha only winning 3 FNCSs compared to everybody on this list. 3 is also really good, by the way, just not as crazy as some of the other people on this list. I think what takes Bugha to the GOAT status on the NA region is of course that World Cup solos win. Bugha only has 11 major tournament wins, but he still has $3.53 million earnings. This is absolutely absurd.